Today on X-Play, it's day 2 of week-long coverage of the biggest Tokyo Game Show ever. Coming up, we have the world broadcast premiere of Gears of War 2 multiplayer. This is the only place on TV you'll see all of the online mayhem. Then we've got your first look at Quantum Theory, the just-announced PlayStation 3 shooter from Tecmo. Plus, we go all access with Resistance Retribution, Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm, and Afro Samurai. All that and more, X-Play from TGS 08 starts now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play at the Tokyo Game Show 2008, presented by Max Payne, in theaters October 17th. Now I'm Morgan Webb and we are here in Tokyo, Japan. Today is day 2 of 4 days of coverage from one of the biggest events in gaming. Now, coming up, we have got the world broadcast premiere of Gears of War 2 multiplayer, because chainsawing your buddies is a bonding experience. Then we'll go all access with Level 5's White Knight Chronicles. Plus, we'll have your first look at Resistance Retribution and how this PSP game interacts with Resistance 2 on the PS3. But first, buckle up for a peek at how you'll be killing your friends for the next 4 months. It's Gears 2 time.
"23 days to go." I know, that doesn't make me feel any better either. It may as well be 23 years. Hopefully, this little glimpse of Gears of War 2 multiplayer will wet your whistle, for a few minutes at least. Gears Part 2 comes with 10 new maps, and every new copy of the game comes with a download code for the Flashback Map Pack. 5 additional maps from Gears 1, all prettied up, of course. There's a healthy dose of environmental effects mixed into the new maps. There's Day 1's random cedar attack, Hale's deadly ice storm, and a few more surprises. All the familiar game types return, except for Assassination, which has been reworked and dubbed Guardian. King of the Hill comes over from Gears for Windows and joins the new game types of Wingman and Submission. In Wingman, you and a buddy take on a number of other two-man teams. And Submission is a CTF game, Gears style. Instead of a flag, there's a smelly hobo armed with a pistol. Each team tries to submit him, then drag him, kicking and screaming, to the score point. Last but not least is the new 5-player co-op mode called Horde. The premise is simple. 50 waves of increasingly angry locusts rush you and your squad. Every 10 waves, the locusts get stronger. You've heard of the Alamo, right? It's like that. Even the ending, usually. Practice makes perfect, though. Crank up the training grounds mode, or just top off your private room with some bots, and voila! Even less actual human contact in your life. Happy holidays. The spectator system has undergone a complete overhaul, including a free-flying ghost cam, which allows you to take screenshots. The screenshots are then scored and can be uploaded to GearsOfWar.com. Pokemon meets Chainsaw Massacre. And finally, the most asked-for feature from Gears 1 has been added. A party system that is integrated into the new matchmaking system. Now you can stand by your friends whether you are murdering or just shamelessly whoring achievements. Which brings me to your homework. Put in Gears 1 and make sure you finish the first act, defeated the final boss Ram, and collected at least 10 cog tags. You'll thank me, let me see. Damn, 23 days.
Tonight, we get apocalyptic and fire off some nukes. X-Play's World Premiere Tuesdays continues with a trip to Bethesda for an exclusive look at Fallout 3. It's coming up next, right after our Tokyo Game Show coverage. Just head to g4tv.com/xplay for all the details. But now let's brave the waves of the Pacific and head back to Los Angeles, where Adam has all of the day's top headlines in the gaming update.
Attention all Xbox 360 arcade owners. Listen closely, for your day has finally come. Microsoft has launched a new memory upgrade program that will allow arcade owners to purchase a discounted hard drive. The new program is designed to ensure that all 360 owners will be able to download the new Xbox Experience update when it launches November 19th. Some active Xbox Live members could be eligible for a free 512 megabyte memory card or given the option to purchase a 20 gigabyte hard drive for $20. To find out if you're eligible for an upgrade, you can enter the serial number of your Xbox 360 console at xboxstorageupgrade.com. Next, Barack Obama ads have been spotted in Burnout Paradise. EA representatives say that while they do accept advertising from credible political candidates, the ads do not reflect the political policies of EA or the opinions of its development team. Next, is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 heading to the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade? Well, this rumor recently sprouted legs on the NeoGAF forum boards after a user claimed the ESRB had posted a listing for the game. So far, no official announcements have been made. And finally, NBA 2K9 gamers have expressed their frustration over a number of in-game glitches. XPlay has contacted 2K Sports for comment, but has so far received no official statement. We were told, however, that work is being done to release a patch that will address issues within the game. Meanwhile, we'd like to thank XPlay viewer Jeff T from Texas for bringing this issue to our attention. Well, that's it for today's gaming update. Watch the best of our TGS 08 coverage whenever you want starting Friday. Look for G4 On Demand on your channel lineup and check out g4tv.com/VOD for more info. But right now, let's send it back over to Morgan in Tokyo.
Thanks, Adam. Now, Level 5's White Knight Chronicles has become a Tokyo Game Show staple, making appearances in both 2006 and 2007. With a scheduled launch this Christmas in Japan, we're finally learning more about this ambitious PlayStation 3 role-playing game. With a rumored 100 hours of gameplay, this is one title you ought to keep your eye on. Here's our all-access look. White Knight Chronicles comes from legendary development house Level 5, which is responsible for gigantic RPGs like Dragon Quest VIII, Rogue Galaxy, and the Dark Cloud series. Naturally, with a resume like that, we're excited to see the next big project. White Knight Chronicles is their first effort for the PlayStation 3. CEO and President Akihiro Hino is producing the title, and we asked him to explain the gist of the game.
The overview of the story itself is an authentic fantasy world where the main character transforms into a knight to rescue the princess who has been kidnapped. There is also another evil existence in black armor, a Black Knight.
Now granted, at first glance, the storyline may not win points for originality, what with its kidnapped princess and a light and dark knight, but what gets players' attention is the interesting design elements. White Knight Chronicles plays with your sense of scale in a way strangely reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus. When you transform, you grow gigantic and tower over the other players in the game, even your teammates. Of course, that ability made for a tricky gameplay balancing act. For that reason, players aren't allowed to transform at any time they like.
There are certain different constraints. For example, the time duration during which you can transform into the White Knight has limitations, and you need to build up certain parameters to transform.
Besides the transformation element, the game plays a bit like Final Fantasy XII. When you see an enemy in the field, you can seamlessly transition into the fight with no annoying loading screens. But besides your main character, the game also lets you create an original character from the ground up, and the options are frighteningly detailed.
The freedom of avatar creation in the game is comparable with other RPGs. You can choose your own hairstyles, the shape of the face, the angle of your eyes, or the width of your eyebrows.
Once you've created your avatar, it can accompany the main character in the game, or you can also take it into the online realm. That's right, you can meet up with other players in an online MMO-style zone and quest alongside your new friends.
That was one of the challenges we had to overcome in the development of this game. Because in this game you can use the same system in the online mode and the offline mode.
White Knight Chronicles is expected to come to the US sometime in 2009. Tecmo didn't waste any time making a big game announcement here in Tokyo. Their new baby is a title that seems to be tailored to the huge gun-toting, tower-climbing crowd. It's called Quantum Theory, and this is your first look.
One of Tecmo's biggest announcements at TGS this year was the PS3 exclusive shooter Quantum Theory. It seems to have a distinct Gears of War influence going on. Producer Keisuke Kikuchi let us in on the details.
Shooters are very popular in gaming right now, especially outside of Japan. So I wanted to make a shooting game that would appeal to fans of that type of gameplay. Quantum Theory has beautiful artwork in it, a dramatic story between its characters, but also takes the genre to a new level. The main character and the woman you see in the trailer have two different missions. The male character wants to destroy the tower, while the female wants to uncover the mystery of the tower. So that's where the dramatic conflict in the story comes from.
No gameplay has been shown yet, but Kikuchi-san did tell us a bit about it.
We're trying to take shooting to the next level, and part of that is trying to connect the art design with the gameplay in a way that they'll fit together to provide a more complete experience. The tower changes shape all the time due to the Guardians protecting it. After you destroy a Guardian, the new one will take the old Guardian's place, and that will bring about a change in the tower's environment.
And as with any good shooter, multiplayer is in the works.
Online mode is still in development, so I can't say too much right now. But there will be multiplayer, and I hope to share details on it soon.
PS3 owners can expect to get their hands on Quantum Theory sometime in 2009.
Coming up on X-Play from TGS. The Chimera take the battle to the PSP, and Sony lets you bring it back to the big screen via your PS3. Find out how PSP Plus will change the way you play Resistance Retribution. Then we've got your all-access pass inside Namco for a closer look at Afro Samurai, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World, and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. We've got all that and more from Tokyo right after this. Tokyo Game Show 2008 is brought to you by Human Wrecking Balls. Man vs. Man-Made. Starts November 12th, only on G4.
Welcome back to X-Play's coverage of TGS 2008. Resistance Retribution is not only an epic-looking game for your PSP, but it will also include PSP Plus. Now, this feature will allow you to use your DualShock 3 controller and completely change the way you play the game. To find out how all this works, we went straight to the source. All right, I'm here with John Garvin, and we are talking Resistance. Now, this is not Resistance 2 for the PlayStation 3. I don't have two analog sticks. How am I going to be able to play this game?
Well, one of the things that we did is we took the Siphon Filter engine that we developed for Logan Shadow, and we made some improvements. So we added what we call Aim Assist, which is a sort of targeting reticle window that allows you, if you move the camera around, put an enemy inside that window, then it makes it much easier to play the game.
And how is the story going to relate to the broader story of Resistance 2?
Well, we're firmly right in the middle of the Resistance universe. We work pretty closely with Insomniac to make sure that our story elements fit right in. Our story takes place between Resistance 1 and Resistance 2. It's kind of a bridging game. We have characters and enemies from both of those games and some new ones for the PSP as well.
And what did you bring new to TGS?
So the biggest thing is we have what we're calling PS3 Connect, which is actually allows us to connect directly to Resistance 2 to unlock new gameplay on the PSP. Actually, what you do is you have to infect your PSP. So you get both games, you load them both up, you get a USB cable, and then you take the PSP and you connect it directly to the PS3. It unlocks a new character model, it unlocks a new weapon, and it unlocks a new class of intel that you can collect.
Let's talk about some of the weapons that you can get after you've infected your PSP.
What you unlock is the HE-44 Magnum, and this is an R2 weapon that's pretty cool. It's the only handgun in our game. All the rest of our weapons are rifles. And what the Magnum allows you to do is you can fire out multiple shots, and these are sort of explosive rounds that stick to any surface. And if you're fighting a Titan, for example, you can plug 5 rounds into him and then blow them all up at once and take him out in one shot. And it allows you to play the game in a new way. On the demo level that we showed, which takes place in Rotterdam, one of the things that we talked about was the clothing lore. You never saw them, but you heard about them, and you heard the GIs talking about them, and you're going to find out everything there is to know about the clothing. And that's one of the ways we tie into the Resistance universe.
All right, thank you so much for talking with us. We're very much looking forward to it.
Thanks for having me.
Keep your iPod fed with the latest TGS 08 videos. Download G4's special TGS podcast at g4tv.com/podcasts. Now, when X-Play from the Tokyo Game Show continues, we'll head over to Namco. We'll be right back.
Seems like everybody wants a piece of Max Payne. As the SWAT team calmly closes in on him, we want to see what truth lies behind this door. What happens next? Does SWAT A. get blown into Kevlar-covered pieces, B. get Max Payne, or C. all get medals? We'll have SWAT blow door number 1 and have your answer when we return. Tokyo Game Show 2008 is brought to you by Max Payne. Prepare for pain. Max Payne in theaters October 17th.
On that door! Put your hands up! You need to come in now! Not a chance! Clear! Got anything? Gone! Great job, boys. You see what you did? You let them get away. Everybody's gonna get a medal for this. Great!
The answer is C. Sometimes it pays not to get your man. And be sure to tune in to X-Play this Thursday for an exclusive new clip from Max Payne.
Welcome back to X-Play's coverage of TGS 2008. Namco has a wide breadth of offerings at this year's show, from games that will have you carve up snow-filled mountains to titles that let you carve up enemies with your deadly steel. There's definitely something for everyone. Here's your all-access look at Namco's upcoming catalog. I headed over to Namco Bandai's headquarters in Tokyo to get the full details on their TGS lineup. First up, Wii Ski and Snowboard. So thank you so much for speaking with us today about Wii Ski and Snowboard. Now, of course, you can play this game with the controller, but you can also, of course, play with the balance board. So how hard is it to control? We're playing snowboarding right now.
いや、簡単にできますよ。
It's actually quite simple. As you can see, you just turn to the left and right, or you can put your balance forward and back to do nose presses and tail presses. It's quite simple and intuitive. The one thing is, you can, of course, if you don't have the Wii balance board, use the Wii remote and nunchuck to play as well. As you can see, you can also use your Mii.
You gotta use your Mii.
There's about 14 different mini-games, hide and seek, tag, lost and found, all kinds of little things to keep you entertained while you're on the mountain.
Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm is a PlayStation 3 exclusive title that is aiming to dissolve the boundaries between anime and video games. The gameplay is reminiscent of the PlayStation 2 Naruto Ultimate Ninja games. It's simple and accessible fighting. You can get your hands on it in November. Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World is a follow-up to the GameCube Tales RPG.
It's 2 years after the restoration of the world from Tales of Symphonia, but even though it has been restored, there's some other problems. There will be a lot of natural phenomena that aren't supposed to be there, and the hero and heroine are trying to fix those.
If you're worried the Tales gameplay will be damaged by excessive waggle on the Wii, fear not.
We use standard JRPG controls because we didn't want the fans of the Tales series to feel awkward with unfamiliar controls. There are new things that take advantage of the Wii, such as taming monsters so they can fight in your party. But we tried to balance that with what the fans want and expect.
Finally, Afro Samurai is a super stylized action game based on the anime of the same name, featuring funky visuals, a top-notch soundtrack, and the voice talents of Mr. Samuel L. Jackson.
Namco aims to capture the unique appeal of the TV series in game form. Looks like Namco Bandai has something in the works for just about everyone.
X-Play's Tokyo Game Show 08 coverage isn't over. Catch even more on-site coverage straight from Japan tomorrow on X-Play. Get ready for something bloody, terrifying, relentless. It's Resident Evil 5. We'll talk with the game's producer and unleash the brand new trailer. Plus, throw away your blades and buy some pants for your avatar. We've got your all-access look at the new Xbox Live interface. Then Empire City is yours for the taking. Will you be its hero or a villain? It's all up to you in Infamous. And Capcom has the double-barrel blast of Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop, and Street Fighter 4. And we've got you covered in our floor report. G4's 4 days of TGS 08 coverage continues tomorrow night at 8. Don't miss it.
That wraps it up for our Tokyo coverage today. We'll be back for more tomorrow. I'm Morgan Webb. Thanks for watching.